I have one question that I would like to pose to the municipal clerk, if I could please, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
Thank you. And that is there anything in this code revision that must be done in order to run an election with the integrity that we believe was done last year? And in other words, if we don't pass this tonight, would this cause us to have a less valid, a more questioned, and a potentially an improper election for 2021? Thank you.
Through the chair, Ms. Kennedy, yes, I do believe that there will be some problems with the election if we do not pass some of these technical corrections. I anticipate that there will be a lot of scrutiny on the municipal election. You and I have discussed observers, we've discussed the election commission. We do anticipate that we will have the public in the election center and the election centers observing the election. We want to make sure that these, what I agree with you, are fairly innocuous, to some degree semantic changes, that they properly reflect and communicate the election procedures, and those would provide transparency. If we are using the same terms that are in the code that are on our documents, we think that that will provide transparency to the public. It will be more accurate. And so yes, there are some provisions in here that I absolutely think should be approved. And it is a long document. It would take me a while to go through and tell you what those are, but I can.
All right, thank you, Ms. Jones. And I guess that does leave me with a bit of a disturbing thought that last year's election cannot quite stand up to the integrity that we hoped it did. But I will again just reiterate that I actually believe that we can hold a proper election just as we did last year. I don't think there was anything that rose to the occasion of being needed to be heavily scrutinized from last year's election. But I would hope that we would postpone this because, again, if it takes 6 or more at this point to vote for any kind of amendment, then I think we probably need to postpone. Thank you.
Thank you. And I would just like to note for the record that Ms. Jones in no way stated that there were any faults or fraud which occurred in our last election. So I just want to make sure that her words are not mischaracterized.
And Mr. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Question to the clerk, please. When would be the last date in which we could make those corrections that you indicated, Ms. Jones, for them to be implemented for the upcoming election? Is that tonight, or would the meeting of the 26th be possible?
Through the chair, Ms. Zalatel, filing for office begins tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. We believe that that is the beginning of our election season and that this ordinance should pass before filing for office opens tomorrow morning.
Thank you, Ms. Jones.
Thank you. Ms. Kennedy?